Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Allincrypto here, and today we have another jam-packed daily cryptocurrency market update video for you. Before I start the video, guys, if you can do me a massive favor and smash that like button, leave a comment if you have anything to say throughout the video. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, please do consider doing so for another update like this every single day at 1 p.m. UK time. It really does help me out, and it does promote these videos to a wider audience. Like I said, we have a jam-packed daily market update ahead of you, or lined up for you, I should say, on this smashing Sunday. And we're going to start things off with a clip talking about following the money, looking at what the largest institutions in the world are doing right now. I think there's a real pessimism towards the crypto space, and I understand it. You know, retail investors in regards to crypto are well and truly beaten up. Fortunately for us and many people that follow this channel, we did mitigate a lot of that downside, certainly in 2022. But we took a approach where we thought a fundamental change had took place on the markets in 2023. We've been validated. The stock market's done absolutely fantastic since 2023. Bitcoin has done quite well. Altcoins, however, have perhaps essentially just gone sideways. In the worst case, some of them have slightly gone on to make marginally lower lows. But we still stand by our positive outlook on the cryptocurrency market, and we do think the revival is here. And I want to start this video off by talking about what the large institutions are doing, the banks, the likes of BlackRock, and how you can relate this to the markets. I think there's a real pessimism, like I say, in regards to Bitcoin, in regards to crypto, and I think people are pessimistic at the wrong time. I think what it is it's more of a fatigue that translates into pessimism. However, the opportunity of a lifetime is here, ladies and gentlemen. It really is with crypto. I don't just say that to be a kind of moon boy or to, promote myself or anything that I'm doing. I say that because I truly believe it. And this channel was created, I've been in crypto for 7 years now, as a speculative investor, as somebody who's watched it and actually, first heard about Bitcoin back in the Silk Road days. This technology is transforming the entire world, and the opportunities that come out of that are perhaps bigger than the opportunities of being an early investor in the internet or any other technological revolution that has changed all our lives. It could be the motoring industry, whatever it may be. And I really don't want people to lose sight of that. And people are, I believe, pessimistic at the wrong time. You know, if you look at where crypto is right now, we're going to be looking at some Bitcoin miners. We're going to be looking at a whole variety of things. Again, jam-packed update. You are pessimistic after the bear market, in my opinion, certainly for Bitcoin. Altcoins, you can't really say are now in a bull, but we assess that Bitcoin is now what I would call in a stage 2 breakout. Most stocks are, or some of the larger caps, anyway, smaller caps are coming into it, and your Bitcoin miners look pretty darn good. You know, I think there's a real opportunity in investing in crypto stocks, which is something we'll probably talk a lot more about on this channel. Patreon's already getting prepared and looking to move towards that. I want to start things off, like I said, with a clip though, however, before we get into everything on-chain, off-chain, TA, looking at some of what the big players are doing, of an individual talking about what big players are doing and following the money. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and play the clip.
You can expand more on the actual law side of it, but I would say as a general sort of indicator, when we look at America, I think what I would do personally when it comes to the crypto market and how it's going to go there, I would just look where the money is going. And if you see the likes of BlackRock and the big names suddenly getting interested in Bitcoin and in crypto as an investment thing, and they want to get a slice of the action, that tells you that there's good times ahead. And now it's always a good time to buy Bitcoin, of course. I mean, Bitcoin socks, I'm a maxi, I admit. But these things, I would follow the money in the US. That's the most logical thing, because if someone like BlackRock and all the big ones, they're getting in on the action and they'll be happy about the Ripple court case as well. That tells you which direction we're going. But I think you analyzed the court case in detail, so maybe you're better placed there.
Okay, thanks, Frank. I think
that was just a quick clip, but I really think it kind of makes a lot of sense. You want to be following the money. Why are all these big institutions and players, the largest institutions in the world, looking to facilitate this industry if the reality was that it was just going to crash and turn into nothing? The revival is well and truly here, ladies and gentlemen. And I do think you should be excited as a result of it. We are seeing a continuous growth in regards to people filing for ETFs, whether that be futures ETFs or just normal ETFs. two recently within the past sort of 48 hours were Hashdex and, of course, Empowered. There are many more. You know, there are now more and more companies all looking to file for ETFs. We've seen the likes of Robinhood. Remember that whale that came out of nowhere? Apparently, that is related to Robinhood. Robinhood accumulates 3 billion of Bitcoin in 3 months. What does this mean for the markets? You know, if you look at Tether, Tether have now bought a load of Bitcoin. They're also going into the Bitcoin mining game. This was rather interesting. We've covered this a lot. Everyone seems to be quite late to what we already cover on this channel. We just aren't one of the bigger channels, so we don't quite get the recognition for it. You know, even from a price point of view, you know, we were very much looking at an expansive move. We weren't sure what direction. We got it to the downside based on Bollinger's, based on a number of things. Then we saw other channels a few days later posting this sort of stuff. But anyway, not to brag. Looking at this, you know, these are essentially owned by BlackRock. BlackRock is the second largest shareholder in all of these, barring Hut 8 Mining. And actually, these stocks look bloody beautiful. I'm not going to go too much into it in this video. This is Bitcoin longs, which we'll move into. But if you look at things like Mara, it looks good. They all look the same. They look like Coinbase. They look like Bitcoin. I would buy. I'm a buyer here, I'm afraid. Not a negative pessimist that thinks that Bitcoin's going to 10K. I mean, it just, you know, this is, again, a little bit of frustration, I guess, because people have decided to be bearish at the wrong time. You know, people waited till FTX collapsed really to get bearish. And it's like, you got to remember, we shorted Luna before the collapse. We didn't get involved in any of the nastiness that took place really in 2022. And I've got a group of patrons that will attest to that. It was only at the start of the year that we got back in. And followers. We also kept people out and were pretty bearish last year. This looks good. This is a break and a retest in my opinion. And actually, right now, I'm positive on the crypto space. Bitcoin does have a little bit of work to do. And we'll get into that in just a second. We'll look at what we're looking at. But follow the money, guys. What are all these big players doing? They're all looking to move and facilitate crypto. Why are they doing that if they thought the industry wasn't going to be a long-standing one? You know, and didn't have much of a bright future. Nvidia, one single stock, had more in terms of market cap than the entire crypto space. Let me tell you, you are extremely early, ladies and gentlemen, and you should be over the moon. You know, we woke up this morning so positive in regards to crypto. You know, I just had a good feeling about everything. Now, it could be because I'm 4 days into a carnivore diet. That's for another story. Or it could be, you know, because I truly believe and think I understand what's going on here. And we've always had the belief that this technology is going to change the world, and we're yet to see it really do so. It already starting to do so. This is Bitcoin longs on Bitfinex. You are seeing a slight resurgence in these. And there are currently 94,000 longs leveraged likely on Bitfinex. Not sure really what that tells you. And then if you look at net realized P&L adjusted for market cap, you can see that we're in the green for the first time in a long time. Typically, this is followed up with a concession, but we will see. I'm not the biggest fan of on-chain metrics, because they fell very short, I think, in a bear market that was largely driven by macro conditions, and they will do again. Moving on to a little bit of price analysis. You guys know what right now what Bitcoin has going for it is the fact that it's holding support, okay? And it needs to show and do something. We are teaching stage analysis in the Patreon, so if you want to get on board with that, stage analysis is the easiest and best, I believe, in terms of simplicity, easeability of understanding, and credibility, investment strategy that retail investors can learn. It will put you ahead of the curve. You'll understand charts a little bit better. And ultimately, looking at this, we'd say that this is now in a stage 2, which stocks have very much led the way on. They are in stage 2s. We called stage 2s, you've got to remember, for the likes of Microsoft at a way lower down price. It hit our target and has pulled back a little bit. And we're actually calling stage 2s for the likes of the stock market. You know, we've been very accurate on the stock market and called new highs actually at a time when it didn't really make sense, I think, for most people. And been very accurate on that. And we're calling the same thing for crypto. It's just taken a little bit of time to get cooking. You know, people are coming back to their desks. In regards to short term, So I still think this is a stage 2 breakout and that you're likely looking for that upside continuation. You've still got your inverse head and shoulders here. You do have some danger in regards to putting a head and shoulders in the right way up. So you need strength for Bitcoin. You need to see it come in, and you need to see it come in with some significant momentum. You know, we need to see volume here in the same way that we saw volume on this. And yes, I know volume is very low relative to historically. We saw volume here, and then we need to see volume come in here to kind of confirm that things are going to move in our direction. And then, of course, we've got a plan for dealing with downside if we think it's going to come. The real test is going to be if you form this head and shoulder and you invalidate this. There's also the dollar, the USDD dominance that's going to be on the back end of that, and everything in between. So you need to see strength come in for Bitcoin. It's kind of, you know, we called it a paper bag in the wind at the moment. It's just getting moved around. So this week's open for the dollar is going to be crucial. We'll look at this week ahead probably in tomorrow's video. The dollar's been doing phenomenally. It really has. And we need to see this roll over. This rolls over, crypto sees that strength. If it continues, crypto sees that weakness and takes that level. You know, there's always two sides to the story. Stocks, looking at a new week ahead, we'll see. Have they had their pullback? Maybe. Could it go lower? Yeah, absolutely it could. You could have a lot more of a prolonged. If you look, we've had pullbacks so far. This was 8%. This was a 9%er. 2%. 5%. So is that enough of a pullback after running into key resistance? We will see. We'll be watching it all on this channel. We'll be keeping you up to date. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. We thought we'd keep this one short and sweet, as we often ramble on for 20 minutes plus on these updates. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you all in the next one. Have a wonderful Sunday.